you're just tuning in, today we are talking to emergency service workers about their lives outside of work and how they manage. Today, we just heard from a police officer talk to us about PTSD. Next, we are going to hear from a paramedic about self-care. For those of you that don't know, self-care is provided by you for you. It is about identifying your own needs and taking steps to meet them. It is taking the time to do some activities that nurture you. Self-care is about taking proper care of yourself and treating yourself as kindly as you do treat others. Without further ado, please give a round of applause for Dave.
Welcome, David. Thanks. Or is it Dave? You can call me Dave, that's fine. Thanks for having me, Steve. Or is it Steven?
Steve's good. So Dave, tell me about your life as a medic.
Well, I've been a paramedic with Trillium College EMS for quite a while now, and I love what I do. I'm passionate about my job, and I love to help people in the community that I serve.
So tell me, how do you practice self-care as a paramedic?
Well, Steve, I practice self-care as a paramedic, but not only as a paramedic. It's important for people to realize that it's something that everybody should be doing all the time. There's 4 categories: physical, mental, emotional, and
Interesting,
spiritual.
Dave. So tell me a little bit more about the physical category.
Well, I work long hours, so I have to make sure that I stay active, I eat well, I get a good night's sleep, and I practice and train really hard.
How so, Dave?
I eat healthy, but I limit sugars and caffeine. A good diet always helps keep a healthy weight. It reduces risk of heart disease and cancer, and it promotes an overall healthy lifestyle. According to Stats Canada in 2011, every 7 minutes someone dies from heart disease or stroke. So you can really understand how important it is to maintain a healthy lifestyle by eating right and exercising.
So how do you exercise, Dave?
I try and do some strength training, flexibility training, and endurance training. I play sports as a hobby, which it really combines all of those things. I also try and focus on body mechanics and proper lifting techniques. As a paramedic, you're required to do some heavy lifting, and utilizing proper lifting techniques will lower your risk of injury. 45% of all workplace injuries are back strains in the last decade, and especially in the paramedic field. So that's according to WorkSafe in BC.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're fit. I would definitely want you to rescue me. You're like a modern-day Captain America. So, Dave, tell me about the mental aspect of
This
self-care.
area consists of achieving a strong mind, so to speak. Setting reasonable goals for yourself. I can't expect to save every single patient that I encounter. You need to challenge yourself, but you can't break yourself doing so. I spoke earlier about having a hobby, playing sports. I feel that it takes my mind off the job and reduces my stress levels. So having a hobby is really important. Also, surrounding yourself with the right people, friends, family, co-workers, and community organizations to share experiences with. Self-care is critical, mental and emotional, in the paramedic industry. Especially because last year in 2014, 13 first responders, 13 of those took their own lives, and that was in a 10-week span, and that was according to Global News.
Well, that's some heavy stuff there, Dave. I'm glad to see that you are on your A game. So, I understand there is another category. Tell me about that category.
Yeah, the last category is your spiritual self-care. I'm not a very religious person. However, what I do in this situation is I do yoga, and that actually involves all 4 categories. It helps me clear my mind, it helps me breathe better, it helps my flexibility, and it's just a chance for me to be alone and get in touch with myself. And I do it solo by myself at my home once a week.
Excellent. And what about praying and going to church? Are you into that as well?
Actually, no, I don't. I'm not really religious, but there's definitely a lot of paramedics who are religious, and they practice by going to church, attending services, and they practice through prayer. So it's definitely a benefit to be involved in a religious group if that's the way you want to go. But personally, I do not, and I do mostly yoga.
Well, thank you, Dave. Unfortunately, that wraps us up for this interview. Thank you so much for coming in and everything that you do. So, folks, remember that self-care involves healthy physical, healthy mental, and emotional and spiritual status to prolong your career and your quality of life. After the commercial break, we have a firefighter coming in to tell us what really happens in a 24-hour shift at a fire station.